Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to some of you, and peace out to the rest of you. Hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. Kentucky apparently reported that they noticed a trend in divorce filings going down since they changed the payouts for these divorces and defaulted to 50-50 custody. What this means is that the reason for the filings of divorce in the first place, that tells you right there, the reason for the filings of the divorce were because divorce was a great way to get ahead financially. You get tired of the marriage, or you never were really into it, and he provided enough. So you file, and at the very least, you get to take this man's kids and raise them to fit the matriarchy machine. But at the very least, but if this man made enough money to support you as a wife, then he had to keep on doing it while you were no longer tied to him as a husband. So consequently, Kentucky is showing us something. What I want you to understand is that, and this is why it is that moral conservatism is necessary for black people, but political conservatism is some bullshit. White Republican political conservatism for black folks is some bullshit. We can't afford that. You have to be able to look at the liberals and say, I believe in treating people fairly and equally the same way you do, but not for the same reasons. You believe in treating people equally when they make unequal decisions. You believe in having no judgment at all, except against those who have moral criteria and judgment, and then turn around and be able to look at the GOP and then say to them, we believe in having judgments, moral judgments, the same way that you do, but not for the same reasons. You believe in being judgmental about things that people cannot control, and then turning around and still treating them like they have some sense when they make decisions they can control, as if they don't have any sense. And know that these parties are literally in bed with each other. When I say literally, you know what the hell I mean, because Neferkari Dessalines has shown that these politically conservative GOP type white folk are also the most sexually deviant. They just hide it, but they're doing this with folks that are openly sexually deviant in some way, form, or fashion. So the far left are sexually in bed with the far right. Keep that in mind. Don't forget that. Now that we got that out the way, because I mean, he's bringing receipts. He's attacking their culture, and shout out to you for doing that, Neferkari. Go after them white folk culture, because their culture's trash. They want to talk about ours. We know that ours is functional. You've had black folks that are Muslim. You've had black folks in the manosphere that are sitting up and saying, we're not going to continue that dysfunction anymore, and we're going to get rid of that as best we can. I'm not saying that either one has really done an excellent job of it, but they've at least challenged it. White folk ain't doing that. Oh, they absolutely. I've been around them GOP types. Worked with them. They are not doing that type of thing. They're just busy trashing everybody else's culture. They want to act like they're just fine. Let them not show up for work, not pay a bill. They don't take accountability. I've been up close and personal and seen them not take accountability. They're just telling everybody else to do it. And Kentucky shows why it is that black folk have to be able to make a right decision for a right reason and look at people making the same decision for the wrong reason and tell them, screw you, F you, you can kiss my ass. We're not the same. Don't try to tell me that I'm different from so-and-so. Even if I am, you're not telling me that truth for the right reason either. Kentucky is showing us this. Here's why I say that. Now that the divorce rates have gone down, in Kentucky, or at least the rate of filings for divorces have gone down in Kentucky since the financial payouts for them have vanished. Many of the right-wing white conservatives are going to say, well, that there is just great. You know how to get to talking. You can hear the banjo playing in the background, which they also got from Africa, by the way. Divorces have gone down. Marriages are solid again. No, the hell they're not. Because you know, if these ladies are no longer filing for divorce, and we know it was them filing for the most part, if they're not filing for divorce anymore, then what do you think is going to go down right along with that? Marriage, dumbass. First, it's divorces that go down, but you're going to start to notice that marriages are going to go down, and then you're going to start to notice that Kentuckian women, white and black and anything else, are going to start looking into cameras and posting on social media and saying, that's right, we don't want to get married in Kentucky and we don't want to live in Kentucky. And what about it? Yeah, it's the divorce laws. Some of them will try to couch it in other diplomatic terms. Others of them will just come straight out and say, so goddamn what? If we decide that we don't want you anymore, we should be able to take your money with us. And Kentucky won't allow it. Why would we accept a deal like that when we can go right next door to Tennessee and they'll allow it? Ask Leanna Lene about that. She ran game on Travis Hunter in ways that everybody could see it. And Travis was like, wait a minute. Everybody's coming out telling Travis, and all Travis could hear was, I finally found somebody, and now y'all got problems with her. Because Travis wasn't pessimistic enough. And that's one thing that has not been taught to men yet. Men need to be more pessimistic about these Western niches, and nobody is sitting up and saying to these men, pessimism is the way to understand them. They hate you. They look for ways to disrespect you. They want to use you. That is the way to understand Western women. That will explain everything. That's the truth, but that's also the truth that is not being told to these men. And one of the reasons I said that we got to go and tell these young brothers what's going on when they're young boys is so that by the time they get to Travis Hunter's age, these chicks can't run game on. By the time they reach puberty, they will understand that what women will do is capitalize on their natural, normal interest in women. They don't reciprocate, they just try to capitalize on it. They will, and these young boys will know that, okay, yeah, I like them. Naturally, they probably have a type themselves that they like, but what they're going to do to me is to try to capitalize, because that's who the huck they are. Therefore, these men have to know. We have to tell these young men what it really is. We have to stop trying to impress these young women. We have to stop trying to impress anybody, really. Stop trying to get them to agree to marry us. And now these young brothers that are, a lot of these young brothers that are not making approaches are actually doing the right thing. We just need to make sure we tell them what it is for the right reasons. Because see, when marriages start to go down in Kentucky, you're going to have these black conservatives and Republicans who follow white folks and marriage is going down. This is a problem. No, it's not. It is a problem, but it's not the problem you think it is. What did you expect to happen? And these young guys are going to be the ones looking and saying, no, see, here's the deal. We didn't lose nothing. We never approached these broads. They were complaining about that because even when we withdrew ourselves, which should have taught them a lesson that they should value men like they want us to value them, they still didn't learn. Then we were just 9AY. They still demanded what they could not give back in exchange. There is still that. And you are mad now because we didn't lose the same things you dumbasses lost generations ago, chasing and pursuing these bitches trying to impress their asses. And they can't love you back. They can't even care about you. Cannot. And we saw this and didn't lose anything trying to change their minds, and now you mad because of what we didn't lose. Oh yeah, old women ain't the only ones trying to mislead the younger ones of their gender. You got some old nigga fools that are trying that too with young men. And I remember old man talking, he set up and told this woman that's a misandrist, these young men need to get out there and get them some pussy. You mean chase it. You're not going to get it. You just mean chase it. And I mean, even if you pay for it, that's still dangerous too. They set you up to rob them. Ask Cardi B. Cardi B didn't sell box because she wanted to have sex and get paid for it. She sold box because she wanted to get paid without having sex, and so she robbed them. And then just to add insult to injury, she would call her trans friends to come over and grope these dudes while they were out unconscious, because that goes against what straight men are after, and she knew that. So I don't have a problem with Offset cheating on her, then going after her money. So my question to Offset is, why the hell did you give her your kids, and what the hell took you so long to do this? Not because I think Offset is some sort of hero, but because I simply understand that she behaved in such a way as to deserve this. Because that's who the hell she is. She already showed that. Kentucky is just a litmus test, again, that shows a lot of this. That's all. Nothing else. But I don't want you guys in this dumb optimism that a lot of our people tend to have to repeat the mistake of thinking that there's some sort of good news in this that doesn't come with some bad news to offset it. No, that's not the case. There is some bad news in this. And the bad news is that marriages will go down because that's just who the hell they are. Marriage will go down next. And it won't go down because of marriage isn't going to go down because marriage is wrong. It's going to go down because, simply put, it no longer leads to the divorce cash and prizes. That's all it is. That's all marriage is to them. Women will sit up and say, I didn't marry my husband for money, but I sure divorced him for it. What they mean is they married him to divorce him for the money. And maybe they married him really wanting to live with him, but they already knew from jump he's got the financial situation that's going to benefit me if I do leave his ass. He takes care of me and wins the bread during the marriage. I divorce him, and guess what? I still get the cash and prizes in the end because he was the breadwinner during the marriage. That's what that means. I don't think that men understand yet. Sometimes, well, I think young men do get it, the ones that don't approach women. I don't think a lot of us middle-aged and older men understand yet, but we will soon be forced to understand that we cannot teach these Western niches to value us in any way, form, or fashion. They're not capable of it. And if they were capable, they would not admit it. It's not something that they can do. You can't teach them to do it. They got their minds made up. And what they're going to do in every single case is they're going to undervalue us and brag about it, because that's who the heck they are. And socially speaking, they're required to. They can't get away even with not doing that. Socially speaking, they can't sit up here and tell women, well, I actually value my husband. He's actually a good man. He does what he's supposed to do. I'm going to treat him well. They can't even sit up and say, well, he's a good guy, but it's just not working out. And I don't have a reason to go and take him to court for half of everything that he's earned. I haven't been with him that long, and he's not a bad guy. He's just not my guy. They can't sit up and get around their friends and say stuff like this. Do you know the kind of trouble they get into socially for that? And that's why it is that we should understand that we're allowed to get into each other's business like this while telling women to stay the hell out of each other's business. That's another double standard we need, and that's why we need it. We tell Travis Hunter that Leanna Lene is no good. We're not zesty or sassy. No, we're doing the right thing. Leanna Lene's friends tell her what to do. No, they need to fuck the shuck up, because why are they telling her that? It has nothing to do with justice, fairness, or her best interest or anything. It has everything to do with making sure that pretty much no man, Travis Hunter or anybody else, that no man has the option of an actual, natural, organic bond and a coupling and a marriage that is based on that. They're doing this to make sure that this becomes a standard. That's why. It's just like when a bunch of students in some of my classes, when a bunch of students get together and say, listen, none of us are going to do this work. Listen, we're going to repeat the same mistakes that we've been making in English. Don't anybody improve a goddamn thing. Don't do it. Don't do it. Go into that speaking test and screw it up. Don't follow directions either. Don't do any of that. Because if anyone does it, everybody has to. They do that. Yeah, they did that this same semester last year. They all decided we're going to drive the standard down. Some of them still pissed off now. They could have just, improved. But understand this, the system's changing. And what is happening is that I'm not being matched anymore with a crop of students that didn't belong in the level in the first place. That's not what's going on now anymore, because I didn't cave in. I didn't hide it or anything. I documented it, did the job. And I want you gentlemen to understand that what these ladies are trying to do is exactly the same thing that students have been trying to do. They did it here in Saudi, and they've done that in the States before I left Saudi. I had some of them tell me, well, Mr. Black, don't it make you look bad if all your students fail? I had to tell one of them, the one that said that, I don't care if it makes me look bad. I can still prove that you didn't do the work. Does it make me look bad? Well, some people will try to say that, but they're going to have to ignore what I'm going to be able to show you. You all did not turn anything in. That's what happened. Some of you turned in stuff, and I can prove you copied it off the internet. But you didn't do it yourselves. I can still show that you failed. And the fact that all of you did it, when I can show this, will prove that all of you made the same decision. And it's the same thing with these ladies. What you cannot find is because they're sitting up and they're all making the same decisions, and they're not going to change overnight because of one state. The data that we have is priceless. It is. But do not think that that's going to lead to some sort of change in behavior. Watch marriages go down, because Westernisha cannot be trained to learn to value you. She can't do it. She cannot learn that. She can only sit up and look at you and say, you ain't nothing. I'm everything. Why should I value you at all? She's stuck on that. And that's not your fault. So don't blame yourself. So don't keep trying to find ways to change their minds about that. They can't change their mind. And you didn't do anything wrong for that to happen. It's who they are. It's been in the runnings and been in the making for a long time. You had nothing to do with that. It wasn't anything you did or didn't do. It's not the muscles that you don't have or the height you don't have. I mean, that's what they'll say, and they may really believe it, but what I'm getting at is that that's not your fault. They just had their minds made up. That, damn it, they were never going to value you. And I don't want you blaming yourselves for that. And I don't want you trying to change that per se. What you can do is simply withdraw yourself so that you are not used in ways that they would never tolerate you using them. That's all. They don't believe that you should derive any benefit from them, and that means that they should not derive any benefit from you. You must withdraw yourselves like these young guys have already been doing. You do not pursue them romantically. You do not pursue friendships with them. If they initiate friendships with you and then they start asking for your skill sets, like your repair skills or things like that, you demand something in exchange. You do not provide these things for free, and you don't give them sex under any circumstances. Unless they agree to marry you and you ain't got nothing. And even then, you gotta look and see what they're going to try to hold over you. I hope this helps. Thanks for listening. As always, black heart, black mind, black out, assalamu alaikum, black heterosexual, non-select male power just because they don't like it, a black patriarchy until extinction of judgment day. Thank you for flying with us again here on Jet Black Air, where the phrase jet black is also a verb. Keep jetting black with us till the wings and the wheels fall off. Gender, justice, forever.